Hello, Abdirahman, sir. Let's proceed with your vocal defense.
All right, thank you very much. Does that mean I can go ahead with ma'am? All right, thank you very much. Esteemed panel members, distinguished faculty, fellow researchers and guests, good afternoon. I am Abdirahman Mohamed Dahie, and it is an honor for me today to present my PhD research, which is entitled The Effects of Social Media on Students' Academic Performance, which is a case study that we have done Hodhan district, which is one of the districts here in Mogadishu, Somalia. So this study was conducted under the expert supervision of Dr. Latika, who is the academic dean of IIBM as well. The ambiguity of the digital technologies, necessitates a critical examination of their impact on education. Of course, particularly in developing context. So this research normally addresses this, imperative by investigating what we call the multifaceted implications of social media usage on students' academic outcome within a specific Somali locale, named Hodhan district. So my presentation will delve into the announced findings of this case study, which we will be exploring both the potential benefits and drawbacks of what we call social media engagement in the pursuit of absolutely academic excellence. So I think I will be trying to go ahead, and let's begin by briefly setting the context for this study by going the introduction part. As you can see over here, in recent years, our country, Somalia, has experienced a significant surge in access to digital technology, which has transformed the social and educational landscape of the nation, of course. So within a notable increase in internet penetration, platforms including Facebook, TikTok, and yes, not to forget YouTube, have become fundamental to the daily lives of many people, particularly among the youth, among the teenagers in our country. So for students, these platforms present a dual edge, what they call a sword. So it's like while they offer an abundance of educational resources and opportunities for engagement, they obviously also pose a considerable distractions that may detrimentally affect academic performance. So the integration of digital technology into educational practices has opened a new avenues for learning. Students in where we have done, the study, Mogadishu's Southern District, for instance, have found themselves afforded access to vast area of knowledge through online tutorials and educational videos, collaborative platforms which can surely enhance their understanding of complex subjects. So furthermore, social media can serve as a conduit for fostering communication and of course collaboration among peers. Like facilitating the exchange of ideas and resources that traditionally learning environment is my obviously not support. So, however, the simultaneous rise of social media use has also brought about a lot of challenges that warrant careful examination. So the compelling nature of these platforms definitely can lead the way students down a path of what we call destruction, diverting their attention from academic responsibilities to definitely a dark path. So the addictive qualities of certain applications can surely result in excessive screen time, which inhibits productive study habits and diminishes users' focus. So as a consequence, the delicate balance between leveraging social media for educational gain and of course coming to its destruction is becoming increasingly precarious. So, as far as concerned this study, the evolving educational practices and increasing digital penetration in Somalia This research seeks definitely to investigate the specific impact of social media on secondary school students in Northern District, which is one of the districts of Mogadishu, the capital city of Somalia. So, through a comprehensive analysis, it aims to illuminate the dichotomy of social media as both a tool for educational enhancement and a potential impediment to academic achievement. By understanding this integrate relationship, stakeholders that include educators, policymakers, families, parents, what do you call administrators, uh, guardians can better navigate the challenges and opportunities presented by digital technology, ultimately fostering a more productive learning environment for students. So in conclusion, into my part one over here, my slide one, the advancement in digital technology access in Somalia offer both remarkable opportunities and significant challenges together. So as a secondary students in Mogadishu's Southern District, immerse themselves in platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, it is definitely essential to explore the implications of their usage on academic performance. This research endeavors to provide critical insights that will inform practices and policies aimed at optimizing the educational benefits of social media while mitigating its destructions, in order to ensure that the potential of digital technology is harnessed effectively in the realm of education. So, for instance, I want to mention an example here. Like YouTube hosts, as you know, a lot of countless educational videos, which is very, very useful for revision. While platforms like TikTok and are often normally purely entertainment focused. A lot of huge percentage are dedicated to entertainment. So potentially that will definitely affect the study routines of our students. So I think from now on, I can move on to the central problem that motivated us, me, I, and my supervisor to do this study, which we normally as researchers call a research problem. So I will be moving my next slide, which we will talk about a little of what the central problem that motivated us to do this study. So Somalia's educational infrastructure continues to face profound and persistent challenges. Although some progress has been made, again, decades of civil war, of unrest, conflict have led to the destruction of many schools. Again, shortage of qualified teachers, lack of basic educational materials, or I can say insufficient educational materials in many areas. So classrooms are overcrowded, school buildings are in a way poor condition, and access to modern learning tools were very limited. So political instability further complicates efforts to reform and invest in the sector, often disrupting learning calendars and making long-term planning a little bit difficult. So within this already a fragile educational context, the rapid and largely unregulated growth of social media usage among students reduce a new layer of complexity. On one hand, these digital platforms can serve as a powerful tools for academic collaboration, for sure, without doubt, offering what students access to educational resources, peer support, and knowledge sharing opportunities across borders. So, however, without a proper guidance and digital literacy, many students fall into patterns of excessive and unfocused usage, spending hours of scrolling through entertainment content and then engaging in online distractions that distract from their study time and concentration. So this dual nature of social media, yes, I can say raises important questions about its role in Somalia's evolving educational landscape. So is it a valuable learning aid or a destructive force? So my research aim is to investigate and better understand this dynamic by examining how secondary school students in Mogadishu's Northern District are engaging with social media and whether this engagement is ultimately enhancing or the other way around, hindering their academic performance. So if I try to put an example, a real world scenario here, I will say like, let's imagine a student who starts with academic intentions on a social media, quickly distracted by unrelated content, so that losing valuable study time over there, which is actually a very difficult thing to imagine. Someone who wanted to learn, someone who wanted to study, but due to the digital transformation, due to the social media, he gets quickly or she gets quickly distracted by the unrelated content, and over there, it loses a lot of valuable study time over there. So I think I can conclude my research problem over there. And given this context, I think we can now outline the objectives that guided this research clearly, where we can say our research objectives. So I will be moving my next slide over here, which is our research objectives. So to clearly understand social media's academic impact, uh, the research targeted four key objectives. Firstly, it was to determine how social media influences the students' grades as well as motivation levels. Number two, it was to precisely quantify the daily time students devote to social media. And thirdly, we wanted to identify specific platforms that Somali students prefer and frequent most often use it, which is, of course, Facebook, TikTok, and then YouTube. Lastly, but not the least, we wanted to assess whether and how students utilize these platforms for academic purpose. So, are they getting distracted by these platforms, or they are gaining much more knowledge while using these platforms? So I think example, our student is spending more hours scrolling Facebook or using YouTube specifically for academic tutorials. That's what we were actually trying to examine and see in our research objectives. So to achieve this objective, I, in consultation with my supervisor, developed the following research questions, which I will definitely be focusing now in my next slide. So based on these objectives, my research was guided by four central questions, which were: number one, does social media support or hinder students' academic performance? Here I'm trying to align my research objectives with the research questions actually, otherwise my research won't be, good as much as we want. So we are aligning our research objectives with our research questions. Number two is like, how much time daily do students spend on these platforms? Like, how much time do they spend while using these kind of platforms, and how they use it normally? Are they trying to gain much more knowledge, or they are just spending time over there? They are passing their time. Uh, Number three is, which specific platforms have the greatest influence on the students' behavior? And fourthly, we were trying to actually understand whether these platforms primarily educational tools, or they are used what you call mostly for just an entertainment and passing time. All right, I think so. Now each question is very, very essential. It is designed to dissect distant aspects of social media usage and its educational implications as well. All right, fantastic. So I think now we can discuss how we systematically address these questions through our what we call designed methodology. I will be moving next to my methodology part as well here. We will try to explain a bit. So to effectively address my research questions, I adopted a quantitative cross-sectional methodology, capturing a snapshot of social media's impact at one point in a time. So the study included like 86 secondary school students from a population of 110 selected via non-probability sampling in order to ensure representation from a diverse academic backgrounds. And then data collection was facilitated using structured questionnaires, as well as it consists of both what we call closed and scaled questions to have a diverse understanding and verification. Number third, I think we have utilized SPSS software, statistical package for social sciences software, so that to ensure robust and statistically significant findings. So this approach, it enabled a clear identification of social media usage patterns and their direct academic correlations. All right. I think as of the findings of this study are concerned, if I move to the next slide, which is the key findings over here, from the data that we have collected during my study, several key findings become apparent. So each offering deeper insight into how social media usage is influencing the academic performance of secondary school students in Northern District, which is in the capital city of Mogadishu, Somalia. Firstly, the research revealed a strong correlation of what? It revealed that there is a correlation between excessive social media usage and a lower academic achievement. The more the student, uses a lot or spends a lot of time using social media, it will affect automatically his achievement. It will affect automatically his grades. It will affect, his attendance as well. So students who spend significant time on social media, particularly more than 3 hours a day, which they normally do. I can say it proudly since I have done the research myself. They reported difficulties with concentration, frequent procrastination. I mean, they are delaying their tasks, their homeworks, their assignments, and challenges in managing their study schedules. So they are always late into the class. They do sometimes fall in on sleep because they never had a very good sleep at night while they were at their homes. So a lot of them, many of them struggled to complete homework on time or to prepare adequately for exams, suggesting that their online habits were interfering with their academic responsibilities. So among the platforms analyzed, there were Facebook and TikTok stood out as the most distracting platforms that the students use. So these apps are heavily centered around short form, entertaining content, and constant notifications, making them particularly very, very addictive that they cannot even, hide from their eyes. So students often reported losing track of time while browsing these platforms, especially during study hours or late at night. So further affecting their academic routines as well as I said before, their sleep patterns. However, the study also uncovered a positive dimension, which was YouTube. This platform, when used with intention, when used with, uh, while they are here, what it emerged as a valuable educational tool. Students who normally access tutorials, lectures, or subject-specific channels on YouTube experienced improved comprehension of classroom topics, and of course, they have reported greater confidence in their subjects, including mathematics, science, and languages as also. So, yeah, this suggests that the platform's impact is not inherently negative. Rather, it depends on how students are using it. So there's no bad or no, good. There's no negative or positive. It normally depends how the students are using and how we actually, what you call, regulate it. So to offer a specific example, a student who spent more than 3 hours daily on entertainment-based applications, including TikTok or Instagram or whatever, were far more likely to report incomplete assignments, reduced test scores, and general academic stress. In contrast, those who use YouTube for even 30 to 60 minutes to only review class content or explore learning materials reported that increased engagement and improved grades, which you normally can see how they are totally different. It's like a double sword. It is our negative and positivity depending on how they use it and how the parent or the teacher or the administrator or the guardian actually regulate it and gave them some sort of suggestions and recommendations. So in conclusion, the central takeaway from these findings is very, very clear. Social media is not inherently harmful nor helpful. Its impact depends largely on the purpose behind its use and the discipline with which students manage their time online. So I think from over here, with these findings in mind that I have explained enough over here, we can discuss the implications and practical contributions of this research, which I will try to move to the next slide. So now, the practical implications of this research, of this study, are wide-ranging and relevant to four key groups within the education ecosystem. These groups are educators, parents, policymakers, and of course, the students themselves. So each has a unique role to play in ensuring that social media becomes a tool for academic enhancement rather than a source of destruction and a source of issues. Now, for educators, number one, the findings suggest a need to rethink how digital platforms are handled in the classroom rather than treating social media as a complete threat. Teachers can incorporate it strategically, for example, by using curated YouTube tutorials during lessons or by assigning educational videos as a homework supplement. Additionally, setting classroom policies on acceptable digital use can help students develop healthier habits. Now, for parents, we suggest that, as you know, they play a crucial role at home. With most social media use happening outside school hours, parents must become more engaged in their children's digital lives. This doesn't just mean monitoring screen time only, but actively guiding students toward academic content, such as recommending educational applications or canals, and having open conversations about online behavior and their time management practices as well. So, number third, were for policymakers, the four stakeholders that we were recommending. For policymakers, they have a responsibility to look at the broader picture, at the bigger picture. The research highlights that the urgent need for national digital literacy programs that not only teach students how to use the internet safely and productively, but also equip schools and teachers and guardians with the training to guide digital engagement. So I think implementing policies that regulate school-based digital use, encourage public awareness campaigns, and fund workshops can have a long-lasting impact. Finally, for the students themselves, ultimately they must take the ownership of their learning journeys. The research encourages students to develop self-discipline in how they engage with social media, making a conscious effort to prioritize educational content, limited entertainment use during study time, and reflect regularly on how their digital habits affect their academic performance. So, in order to offer a practical example, a teacher might recommend a playlist of math or science tutorials on YouTube to help students prepare for the upcoming exams. Meanwhile, a policymaker could initiate a national school program focused on what? Focused on responsible digital citizenship, equipping both teachers as well as students with the tools to navigate the digital space very, very wisely. So I think in summary, if each of these stakeholders, I mean the parents, teachers, policymakers, and then the students themselves working together rather than in isolation, I think we can create an environment where social media can become an academic ally instead of an academic obstacle or hindrance or an academic issue. So I think I will try to move while I try to actually concise my presentation since I have a very limited time. I will move towards my recommendations so that I give a follow to my team so they can ask me questions as well at the end of the panel. So I think let us now turn to the conclusion of the research, a space where we step back and reflect as well as look forward. There is an announced role of social media in education. As you can understand from my presentation or from my explanation earlier, this study has clearly shown that social media holds a complex announced position within the educational landscape. It is not inherently a hero that guarantees academic success, nor is it a villain that inevitably leads to a failure and destruction. Whether its impact, whether positive or negative, it will definitely depend largely on how it is used, why it is used, and whether students are guided and supported in their usage as well. So I think let's consider this. Suppose a student who uses platforms like YouTube or TikTok to watch educational tutorials, follow science communications, or join academic webinars is engaging very, very differently from one who spends hours endlessly scrolling through the entertainment content. So the platform is the same, but the purpose, guidance, mindset, the way we use, the how are being recommended, how regulated it make all the difference actually. But yes, the platform is the same. Only the purpose, the guidance, the mindset, the understanding, are the ones who are making the difference over here. So social media, in this sense, becomes a mirror of a student behavior and choices. It amplifies what is already there. That's why structure, intention, and mentorship are very, very key over here. So based on the evidence gathered and the pattern is observed, I would like to put forward a few actionable recommendations that can help us move from insight to impact actually. Number one, digital literacy and awareness programs in schools is very important. Firstly, schools need to step up their role in equipping students with the tools and understanding to use social media purposefully and productively. So this can be done through what? It can be done through regular awareness workshops, not just once a year or twice a year, but constantly embedded in the school calendar. Sessions can include topics like digital citizenship, cyber safety, credible sources, and how to balance screen time with the study time. Again, schools can also invite young content creators, influencers, educators, or alumni to share how they use the digital platforms for career growth or academic enrichment. So it's about shifting mindset, helping students see social media not just as a place for leisure and entertainment, but also as a tool for learning and as well as discovery. Number two is like encouraging meaningful parental involvement. The second key recommendation focuses on parents. We all are parents actually. We often assume that digital education is the school's job, but it is equally a family responsibility. Now, I want to clarify something. Parents do not need to be tech savvy or that they are very, very update parents that knows the digital era. But what matters more is their presence and curiosity. Simple questions will be like, "What did you learn online today?" To ask the students or the kids. Can you explain how this video helped you with your assignment? What kind of pages or groups do you follow for the school? So this question is, they open up conversations that help students reflect on their digital behavior. Even short daily check-ins can lead to positive accountability, helping students think critically about what they consume online. So let's remember, when students know that someone is behind who is genuinely interested in their learning journey, whether it is online or offline, they are more likely to make wiser choices. They will do a wiser choice actually, while their mind is in place. So number third is need for ongoing and inclusive research. The third and final recommendation is about the building of this research. This study focuses primarily on students, while that gives us valuable insights. It also highlights the need to bring the other perspectives. So I think future research should include teachers who can provide insights into classroom dynamics, student engagement trends, and academic performance changes linked to digital habits. Also, parents who can share their observations, their challenges, as well as strategies in managing their children's online time. And ideally, longitudinal studies research that tracks students over several months or years. So this kind of study will help us understand how habits develop and how they change over time. and what kind of interventions lead to a sustained what we call improvement. I think such comprehensive studies will help us shape holistic digital learning ecosystems, not just the short term, but the long term as well. So in essence, this research is not about pointing out problems. It's not about showing some issues, but it's about opening doors to thoughtful and sustainable solutions for our future generations. It reminds us that when guided by purpose, social media becomes a bridge, not a barrier, to academic success. It also reminds us that the students who need to disconnect from digital life to succeed, they simply need to learn how to navigate it with intention, balance, and support. And it all challenges all of us, whether educators, parents, researchers, or policymakers, to rise to the occasion and guide the next generation into becoming informed and empowered digital learners. I think I will move to the next slide, which is like the key takeaways from our research. I think social media usage among the students is, as I said several times while I was presenting, is a double-edged sword. Let me begin with the first and perhaps the most important takeaway over here. Social media is not inherently good or bad. It is one side, it offers immense opportunities, which is access to global knowledge, collaborative learning platforms, and real-time communication with peers or educators. On the other side, if not guided properly, or if not used properly, it becomes a major distraction, leading to procrastination, delays in assignments, reduced concentration, sleep problems, and even decline into the academic performance. So it's not the platform itself, but it is like how students engage with that, which is the thing that makes difference here. If used wisely, as I said before again, social media can be a tool for academic excellence and success. And if misused, it can severely disrupt learning habits and overall performance of our young generation. Number two is the strategic collaboration, which is very crucial over here as well. The second key point is that maximizing the educational potential of social media is not the responsibility of students alone. It calls for a strategic collaboration involving educators, parents, students, as well as the policymakers. Educators, what they need here is to integrate digital tools into their teaching methods, while also educating students about credible sources and time management practices. As far as the parents are concerned, they must stay engaged, not through restrictions, but through guidance, through helping students develop discipline, as well as balanced screen time. And of course, the students are at the center of this. They must be empowered to take the responsibility for their online behavior and the choices that they are doing for their own lives. Finally, for the policymakers, they must make they must create, I must say, a digital ecosystem that protects and promotes healthy educational use of social platforms. So when these stakeholders work together, we create a more supportive and informative environment for learning in the digital age. Number third is the need for local context sensitive policies in Somalia. So finally, and very importantly, we need to recognize the unique context of Somalia. Social media usage among students in the country is rising, and yet digital literacy is not growing at the same pace. So the absence of clear guidelines or support systems leaves young people exposed to misinformation, cyberbullying, as well as destruction. So what is urgently required is the development of context-sensitive policies, not just imported models from other countries. We cannot import models from countries that, and we cannot implement our own service. We need to make it very, very tailored, and we need to customize the policies that we are doing on our own service. So policies tailored to our local culture, education system, infrastructure, religion, digital challenges. So alongside that, I think we must implement a structured digital literacy programs at the school, level to help students navigate online spaces critically and constructively. And I'm sure that from, I think, primary schools, we have ICT curriculum that is actually booming up nowadays, which is a positive as well, so that the young generation can understand in their young age what is this digital era looks like, and what kind of future it has for them. So this is not just a recommendation, but I think it's a necessity if we want to protect the academic future of our youth. So I think I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for your time and attention. I think I'm a teacher. I do, sometimes teach, so I can talk almost an hour if uh, if given that chance. And I want to actually again thank every one of you for the kind attention and patience throughout this research. It has been a true honor to share my research on a topic that deeply affects the future of our students and education systems. This opportunity to present such a respected forum means a great deal to me, and I hope that insight shared today will spark continued conversation, collaboration, as well as innovation. I now think before I conclude over here, I would like to take a moment to reflect a little bit if I have a chance. I'm not sure if I have time to reflect something. Can I go ahead with, ma'am? Am I okay?
Yeah, you can. You have 5 more minutes. You
All
can.
right. Thank you. Okay, okay. So I think before I conclude completely here, I would like to take a little moment to reflect further on a few aspects that shaped my journey through this research and share some additional, thoughts, including why do I choose this topic. Throughout my academic and professional career, I have witnessed firsthand the profound changes that digital technologies are bringing to our Somali society and education. So this personal observation motivated me my choice of this research topic, witnessing the widespread integration of social media among students raised significant still concerns about their academic outcomes, fueling my determination to explore and address actually this issue. As far as the challenges and learning experience are concerned, while undertaking this research, uh, I can say that it was a challenging yet a rewarding journey, navigating data collection in the district, dealing with reluctance from participants, and sometimes overcoming logistical challenges taught me invaluable lessons about patience, perseverance, and as well as effective communication in the academic research. So broader implications for Somali education, this research for sure underscores an urgent call for integrating structured digital literacy programs into the Somali education system. And of course, the policymakers, educators, and parents must work collaboratively together to develop clear guidelines that encourage what you call productive and disciplined digital habits among our students. And then, furthermore, the study it highlighted our collective social responsibility as educators, as parents, and community leaders to guide the younger generation in using digital tools more responsibly and constructively. But yeah, of course, while my research provides a comprehensive overview of how social media affects the academic performance, it opens the door to numerous future inquiries. Example, understanding the perspectives of the teachers and parents regarding social media's role in education could offer a fuller picture of its impact. So another exciting avenue that I include is involve comparative studies across different regions of Somalia or even international comparisons within the East Africa region, uh, so that to explore variations and similarities in how social media affects students' academic journey. So I think ultimately education shapes the future of our society by responsibly leveraging digital technologies like social media. We can definitely empower students not only to succeed academically, but also to become informed, responsible citizens. And it is my sincere hope that this research contributes meaningfully towards achieving that specific goal. So once again, I want to sincerely thank my supervisor and dean, Dr. Latika, the panel members, my family, colleagues who have actually supported me throughout this tough journey, and I'm sure your guidance and encouragement have been purely invaluable. Thank you very much, all. I can conclude over here. Thank you very much, all.
It was always a pleasure to have you, sir. Sir, I'd like to run few questions here. I have a question. What motivated you to choose this research topic?
All right. I think this is very fantastic question. To answer this, I need a lot of time, but I will try to concise. The primary motivation behind choosing this research topic was actually, from observing uh, the growing absence of social media in the daily lives of students, particularly in the country. So, over the past few years, digital platforms including Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, you name it, YouTube, have become deeply embedded in students' routines, so often more accessible than traditional learning tools. So as someone involved in both education and social development, I began to notice an important question, emerging, like, is social media contributing to learning, or is it quietly undermining academic performance of our students? So actually, many educators, volunteers, community leaders, they were expressing concerns about declining concentration levels, reduced time, and poor academic outcomes often linked to this trend. So these were some of the things that made me choose actually this topic. In essence, in conclusion, I choose this topic because it speaks directly to the future of education of Somalia, and understanding it is crucial to ensure that technology becomes a bridge and not a barrier to student success. Thank you very much.
Great.
I think
So
I have,
one
yeah.
more, I had a question on my mind, like, what are the key findings of your studies?
All right. I think the key findings of I think, yeah, the study, as I presented while I was giving the presentation over here, it revealed that excessive social media usage negatively impacts academic performance. There is a correlation between two of them, leading to reduced concentration, poor time management, and lower grades. So, however, students who use social media for academic purpose, such as research and a group discussion, showed very, very improved engagement and a better academic outcomes. So, I think it is the key finding that we have received during our study was that. Thank you very much.
So one last question I'd like to take in is, what were the challenges in data collection and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, I think when it comes to challenges, there were a lot of challenges, and I think some of them, while I presented my final takeaways, I've just pointed out some of them. But the challenges included their reluctance from some students to participate and difficulty in obtaining personal consent. Some of them were not even ready to answer the questions that we are actually asking them. So to overcome these issues, I worked very closely with the school administrators, explained them the purpose of the study, and finally we ensured confidentiality to encourage participation where they have started to participate freely. Thank you very much.
Great, sir. Really, congratulations on successfully defending your PhD thesis. And
Thank you.
definitely, it's a significant milestone. Your
It
hard
is. Thank
work, your dedication have really paid off. And wishing you, sir, continuous success in your academics and professional journey.
you
Thank
very much.
you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
It
you.
has been a pleasure working with you. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Me
much.
too.
Thank you. All
Thank
right.
you.
All right. See you.